Hi guys, welcome back. This is Alex with Mill City Made. As you can see, our basement stair renovation is coming along, but before I get too far, I wanted to take a bit of time to explain how we went about building and installing this stair skirt. You can do this project with just a handful of tools and get really professional looking results. Stick around to the end where I explain the secret of getting this seamless fit between the tread and the skirt. So let's rewind the clock a bit and show you where we started. Now I want to show you how we're doing the skirt here to cover up this really ugly thin set. What I'm doing right here is I've got a scrap piece of plywood. I am going to mark up where I need to cut out for these stairs to slide this into place so that I can ultimately test that fit before I transfer the template onto the final piece of stock that I'm going to use. And so I'm going to just carry this horizontal stair over like so. Each of these steps is about 7.5 inches deep. So I'm going to take that here. I'm going to mark out 7.5 inches deep. And then I'm going to drop that line straight down. These steps are pretty much vertical. So you can see there, I've got this triangle now. I'm ultimately going to cut that out. You can see I've already done these ones below it. That's going to let me slide this into place so I can make sure everything fits well before I ultimately transfer this. It really only took me one try after I did a test fit. There are a few areas that I need to cut a little bit further, but you can see how this all just fits together. I'll have to figure out something to do down here. This obviously looks pretty weird. This step is taller than the other steps, so it kind of limited exactly what we could do there. Now the stair skirt itself is going to be made out of 1/2-inch plywood with a red oak veneer. And the reason I'm using this plywood and not a hardwood stair skirt is because I could not find hardwood that was 13 inches wide, which is what we need because of that big bottom step. First thing we're going to do is lay these stencils we made up and just trace the outline of them onto the finished piece. Now what I'm doing here is drilling some 3/8-inch holes into all of the corners so that we can fit that jigsaw into place to make a cut. So to get a quality finish with plywood like this, you got to make sure you're using the right blade. There's ultra fine finished blades. You can get these from Diablo. This is going to make sure it cuts in both directions. You can see the teeth there cutting in both directions. That's how you get a good quality result and no tear out with plywood. Now I'm just going to take the jigsaw and cut out the rest of the lines, just taking care here to follow as closely as possible. Doesn't need to be perfect, but we just want to follow the template that we laid out. Now this should look something a bit more like stair skirt. Now what we're going to do next is apply a piece of red oak quarter round to the edge of the plywood, which is going to give a nice smooth transition into the walls. And so I'm just sanding the edge of this quarter round real quick. I've already done the same to the plywood, and now I'm just going to hit it with some wood glue and make sure that this is nice and consistently spread out on the quarter round, and then put it into place. This quarter round is a 1/2 inch
wide by 3/4 inch long, and so the nice thing is it already matches the width of the plywood without having to do any additional cutting. You can kind of find these in whatever size you need them. So then we can go ahead and use blue painter's tape to keep this in place while the glue dries. There are obviously stronger ways to create a wood joint, but this joint isn't going to be under stress, so I'm not too terribly concerned. I just want to keep this quarter round in place so you get a nice smooth transition while the wood glue dries.
Time for a fit check. Too bad, no real issues on fit anywhere. And the treads will come up here, and then you got the risers here, so you won't see any of this gap. So one other thing that we got to do here is try to figure out where exactly we're going to end this, because it looks really goofy the way it comes down now. So, you know, I'm probably just going to try to take it over around a stair width. Just drop it straight down. Yeah, I'll just say that looks good enough.
So you can see I played around with a few different lines, but then I put down a piece of double-sided tape. And I'm going to use a straight edge here, just a piece of an aluminum fence, so that I can quick run a circular saw and cut this down to size. I'm also going to do this on the top where I need to cut a bit of extra off. This one doesn't need to be perfect because it's going to be covered by an overhang from the window. To finish this, we're just going to use a water-based polyurethane. That's why it has that white appearance. Pro tip, just keep a pile of shims around that make great stir sticks. Now I'm applying this without any stain. I wanted kind of the natural raw wood look, and then the poly will just dry clear. You could always stain it first to get the desired finish that you're looking for.
So here I'm getting just much coverage as I can. Obviously you don't want to put too much on, but you're really just trying to make sure you get everything covered well, and then we'll really kind of brush it in at the end. So you can see we just want to get anywhere that urethane looks like it's pooling a little bit and looks a little white. We'll just go with the grain here, really trying to kind of pull excess off.
Now we're starting on the second coat. I ultimately did 3 coats on the front. I sanded between each one just really lightly with a 220 grit, just to clean it up the surface a bit. And then no sanding after the last coat. I also did 1 coat on the back side just to kind of moisture proof everything. Thought it made sense to hit it all since it'll be down in the basement. Okay, so we've got the finished stair skirt here. Just test fitting it into place. Still fits just fine. Now we're just going to go ahead and apply PL Premium to the back side and stick it in place and hold it in place with some weights. Now we just get it stuck in place. So there you have it, guys. This is how you build your own stair skirt and get really professional looking results. Now, I mentioned at the top the secret to getting a seamless fit between your stair treads and the skirt. For that, we're going to use a stair tread gauge. I've actually got on screen here a video for how you can simply build your own stair tread gauge at home to get that perfect fit between the treads
and the skirt. Until next time, this is Alex with Mill City Made. Thank you.